Oh, goody.
Alright, what's up everybody? Zombies here again, and today we have another Mercenaries PvE bounty for you. This is going to be number 5 in Alterac Valley. This is the Lokholar, if I'm saying that right, bounty for our boy Lokholar the Ice Lord. He is the final fight, as well as the character who gets a unlock from this. You do need him in your party to unlock the item, so don't forget to throw him in here. Otherwise, you will not get that item unlock upon completing the heroic bounty. But yeah, this one, not super hard. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You do just want some really good AoE damage with blues, so we opted to go with a holy build here. So we have Anduin with his extra holy nova damage. Velen with a little bit of extra healing there on characters. Zyrella just for a little bit of holy synergy and damage reduction. Do recommend trying to grab holy synergy, or not synergy, but holy damage boosts for your treasure when available. And buffs to humans can be really good too. So those are two I recommend. Obviously we need Lokholar, and he can be somewhat useful for the fights leading up if you have him leveled a bit. Cookie just for some additional health with his appetizers, and Cariel. So Cariel's kind of interesting inclusion here, but I actually really liked her for kind of protecting Anduin and Velen so they could get their kind of AoE combo off, and she's also a human, so if you do get human buffs for Anduin, she also benefits from that as well. So that is the kind of comp we have here. You could probably accomplish this with other comps though too. Fire probably could actually do pretty good against this, as it is versus 2 reds and a blue. So you could probably get away with running a fire comp as long as you can protect Baron Geddon somehow, because blue AoE damage is definitely going to be the way to win the fight. But that is our overview of the comp. If you enjoy this type of content, do remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a lot. And let's get into the bounty. Alright, so getting into the bounty here. This one's actually pretty easy. I did like having a taunt though for my units here, as there are a fair amount of greens. So if you do want to use some holy units like we are using in this comp, I recommend having a turn 1 taunter like Cariel or Mukla or really anybody. As long as you can get your taunt up, make sure your units are staying alive. It's really not super bad. Most of the general fights here pretty simple, straightforward, and you can beat them over with pretty much any viable PvE comp. So fire, you could probably even do orcs if you really wanted to. But the big thing with this one is you do want a lot of good AoE from blues on the boss fight. It's going to make your time a lot easier and more enjoyable for completing this fight. So that is basically what I recommend. If you want to try something different, just make sure you have access to some good blue AoE. It's kind of why we went with Holy here, because they were just the first thing that came to mind when I was thinking, you know, what's some good blue AoE that we can make use of to make this fight pretty easy, as Lokholar does summon more units. So the start of the fight, it is just 1 blue, Lokholar, and a red. However, he will summon more units as the fight goes on, and each of those units do provide a benefit for him. For example, I grabbed the treasure, as we can see here, that freezes enemies on the start of the fight. However, one of his starting units prevents them from being frozen, so it totally invalidates that treasure. Made me a little sad, but kind of an interesting interaction to protect the boss from all the freezing. Kind of makes sense given he's the Ice Lord, but we are at the boss, so we are going to head into the fight here. And we see that orc in the middle there is actually going to basically make them take less damage. Our frost ability goes off, but does no freezing. And we see just in a minute here, taking a look at the abilities, we see why your enemies, or yeah, they can't be frozen. So basically, they prevented our freeze. I think the Holy Lead is a good start here. We just want to get off our big Nova AoEs, start cleaning this stuff up, and then the The Carriel will kind of give us a little bit of protection here. Alright, so then as we see, we take down their kind of damage prevention there. Now you do have to be a little careful here because when units do die, Lokholar does get buffed. And he actually has an ability where he does attack for each friendly character on his side, so he does summon more characters and then gets to swing in more. So you do have to be careful killing off the characters, but again, with our healing, we really weren't that worried. We had Carriel to kind of be our wall, and as you see, summons 3 more characters, so now they have a whole board. Unfortunately, this happened turn after we AoE'd, so I think this turn we kind of need to turtle up, just go for a little bit of damage, keep our Carriel healthy, and go for the less damage, just to try and keep Carriel alive here. Even if she does die, we do have good stuff on the backbench, so it's not that big of a deal. But the frost damage is going to start scaling, because Lokholar does get stats and frost damage when some of the minions die, so that is kind of why you want to be a little careful about that. Let the snow fall. So yeah, Lokholar is actually the mercenary I'm probably most excited for right now out of the bunch. He just has so much potential. And as you can see, he hit us a bunch, but he took a ton of damage. So now we're just going to be able to do an AoE and pretty much end this bounty. I think there'll be like 1 survivor who we can then kill in the next turn. So Holy Comp definitely seems like the way to go for this. It is definitely a very strong choice for this kind of bounty. And definitely going to want to have this equipment unlocked, because I do think Lokholar can do a variety of different things depending on his equipment. So I think it's good to have all those options available. All of the new mercenaries have some pretty sweet variety in what their equipment can do. So I was really happy to see that. Here we do have the Zyrella coming out, and she's just going to help finish things up here. Basically, we just have the 2 summons left, so they're not going to last long at all. And yeah, this one wasn't that bad. As long as you have some good blue AoE, like I said, super easy. Get some good healing in there. Really makes it not too hard of a fight. So that is the Lokholar fight. We only have 1 more left. That's going to be Drekthar. I've already gotten some tips on that, so I've heard Diablo works pretty good against him. But Drekthar will be coming tomorrow morning, and that'll be the last of the Alterac Valley heroics. Here we see we get some coins, some useful ones there, like for Lokholar, but more importantly, we do get access to our item here. Awesome. That's what we were looking for. If you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.